Let's get it.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification. Happy Wednesday. We are back. Can you believe we made it? I can't believe we made it, but we have. It's been a long week, guys. It's been a lot going on. What we're going to talk about tonight is mistakes and how no matter the size of the mistake, it's going to cost you money. And the goal is to keep your mistakes to a minimum. All right, before we get into all that, let's go and thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for us and our country. We would not be the country we are without them. DAV and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital are our charities of choice this year. And if you want to get mentored by me, you can reach out to that Patreon site and sign up for one of their programs over there, and you'll get my direct phone number and access, and I can try to help you do what you need to do. Okay. The other day, I didn't upload it. Can you believe it? Anyway, mistakes. I didn't update it. We just, oh, yeah, hang on. Let's see. Let me just show you the picture. We got our certificate of appreciation from St. Jude's in the mail today. That was very kind for the support. I want to thank you guys for helping us support them. All right. Fuel prices. Well, fuel prices are basically the same. They're up, 0.5 cents to 366.5 from last week. Hasn't moved a lot. One thing about in the news today, inflation tops forecast. January inflation, and this inflation, I believe, is going to keep the rates high probably through the year. But like I told you in the last one, the truck prices have come down a great deal. So if you're shopping for a new Ram or Ford, I don't know about Ford, but Rams have come down. 2024 Rams. Now might be the time to go take a look at them. All right. So picture of the week. There's Steve. He just got on the road today, and that's his pickup for today. You got him a little Go Buggy bus. This is Robert's load of pipe. We've got Richard's. I don't know what that was, but that was a lot of it. I want to tell you, I would have hated to have to tarp that load. Bless his heart. But tarp looks good, man. He did a good job with it. And James. James is hauling crane components. So, yeah, all in all, the boys are busy. So, under the hood, well, I'm working on a damage claim. One thing you got to realize is that, my guys, when things happen, that's what we do on this side of the desk when we're in-house. We've got to work on the collections, work on the damage claims. I hope there's never damage claims, but, you're going to have them. So this is a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we do. All right, so tax prep. We're in full bore tax prep season right now, so you guys should be too. Really, it's that time of year. All right, Hotshot mistakes. Now, before I get into this, I want to run over and say hi, hi, Mr. McClendon. I see you over there, Ken. Robert, hope you're feeling better, buddy. Daniel Cooper, Ozzy. Hey, Ozzy, hope you're doing good, bud. All right, so let's talk about these mistakes real quick. Really appreciate everybody showing up. I know we got people looking that I can't see over on Facebook. I just can't see those guys for some reason. So mistakes, guys, no matter the size, it's going to cost you money. It may only cost you time in dealing with it, but time in our business is money. So we have to be cognizant of what we're doing. So it's going to cost you money, and it may cost you your equipment, it may cost you your insurance. It may cost you the ability to even work in this industry. People may not hire you because of mistakes. It could cost you your CDL. It could cost you your life or lives of others. And in some cases, it could cost you your freedom. And we want to talk about some specific mistakes, but we're going to go through a few things and understanding that this business is not just hop in a truck and run down the road. You have the same regulations and the same responsibilities and the same rules cast upon you by the government as every other semi-truck driver. The rules do not change. They are the same. So knowing those rules are imperative to doing your business. And remember, you're not starting a job. You're not starting a career. You're not changing careers. You are starting a business, and you have to get to know the business. Okay, so examples that cost you your equipment: hard starts and stops. Okay, hard stops and hard stops and stop. Hard starts and stops cost you your equipment. It starts with your torque converter for the hard starts, your transmission, all your drivetrain. Okay. You slam on that gas with that weight in it and everything. Then it goes from your rear axle up into your gooseneck. So now you're into your trailer. It's going to affect your gooseneck hitch, could affect the neck of your trailer. Okay. Then it goes on backwards. Now, once you get onto your trailer deck, it could shift your loads. It could absolutely throw your load out of whack. Okay. It could settle the load in a position that the straps are no longer holding it, and you could lose your load. So hard stops, hard starts, hard stops. I wrote it that way the first time, guys. Now I can't get it out of my head. I put the stops first and then the starts, and now it's like, bleh. So understand that jerking in either direction, in either motion, causes an issue. If you have a hard start and a hard stop or a hard stop, you need to pull over and check your straps. I want to tell you now, there's a good chance you've shifted that load. Okay. All right. Misloading your trailer. All right. Misloading your trailer. I've been seeing it a good bit lately to where the guys have stuck the load on the nose of the trailer and the truck was actually carrying the load, and they were probably overweight on your axles, or they loaded the trailer incorrectly. And I'll give you the example right here. This was loaded on one of our trailers. If you can identify the finger in the picture, you'll know who it is. But this was loaded, and the loader actually asked this driver if he wanted it laid on his side, laid on the side. And the driver said, no, I'll leave it there. Well, guys, if you can lay that thing flatter than it is, that's where it needs to be. You don't want to run stuff setting up high like that if it doesn't have to be run high. If you have to run it high like that, you've got to put cribbage on this thing. You've got to have something on this thing, some kind of blocking to keep it from just falling over. This is heavy stuff, 16,000 pounds of steel. So what happened was he went around the turn and he tore up his trailer. Now, let's go back and talk about that just for a second. So now, how does that cost him money? Well, one, he's got to fix the trailer. It's nobody's fault. If that would have been a piece of something that could have broken, okay, if he was lucky because it just fell over on his deck and it busted a board or two. Now, let's talk about this. He goes around the same turn a little faster. The thing falls over, busts the straps, comes off, lands on the ground. Best case scenario, you got to get a crane out there. So now it's going to cost him a crane. He's going to get fined for unsecured load and probably whatever else the police officer can throw at him. And it's going to cost him, several $1,000s for a crane. All right, so let's take it one step further. Same scenario. He goes around the corner, it falls over, comes off the truck, and there's a car sitting there. And this 16,000-pound piece of steel goes through a car and kills a couple people. Okay. Serious shit, guys. This whole thing is serious. That stuff coming off that deck is serious. 16,000 pounds is serious. Mistakes. It's not like in grade school. You make a mistake, you get away with it. People pat you on the head and say, oh, it'll be all right. Learn from it and don't let it happen. This has got lives at stake. I mean, it's dangerous. Okay. All right. Let's go back on. Now, failure to do proper pre-trips. Okay. Proper pre-trips are things that can help you take care of a problem before it becomes a problem on the road. You're much cheaper to fix something in the parking lot than you are to have emergency roadside service doing it on the street. The difference is huge. Okay. One other thing is every time you stop, you need to be touching those chains, those straps, making sure they're tight. Okay. All right. So the next thing would be failure to do preventative maintenance. Now, guys, you're out there using this equipment for your livelihood. This equipment's what makes you money. You must take care of it. Okay. And you must take care of it correctly. I'm not talking about digging into it every 5 minutes and doing something crazy to it. I'm talking about doing standard preventative maintenance. The other thing you want to make sure of, listen to this mistake. Leaving home knowing you're going to be out 3 weeks. That's your plan, out 3 weeks. You change your oil, okay? Change your oil, but you didn't change your fuel filters. Now, what are you thinking? Every time you change your oil, change those fuel filters. When you get ready to go out, you figure on 2,500 miles per week. If what you have on that truck will not get you 7,500 miles, you got to change it. You don't want to be out on the road under a load, having your truck not working correctly, de-throttling you. You have to get this stuff fixed, and you have to get smart about it. You got to bring these mistakes under control and not be doing them. I have a list that every 15,000 my oil's changed. When my oil gets changed, my fuel filters get changed. My crankcase filter gets changed every 30,000 miles. It just is in a rotation, and there's notes. You've got to keep a book. By law, you have to keep your maintenance records. Okay. So you check the brakes every 15,000 miles and make sure they're okay. All right. You get up under that thing and you check the brakes, or you have somebody check the brakes, whichever you do. I normally have people check my brakes because I normally don't do hard stops. And I just absolutely got 101,000 miles out of my first set of brakes. So, I use my engine brake and my tow haul, and yeah, I just don't slam on the brakes. I don't use that much brake. So anyway, I want to tell everybody now to get your questions together, because at the end I'm going to have a Q&A session. So let's talk about it in a minute. All right. That's examples of how you lose your equipment. It could cost you your insurance, speeding, accidents, cargo losses, too many out of services, poor safety record, poor MVR. I had a gentleman ask to lease on with us a week or two ago, and what he had been fired from another company, and he called me, and I asked him what he got fired for, and he was running illegal. It was a mistake. He didn't realize what he had done, but what he had done was totally illegal. And then he had 4 moving violations on his MVR. My insurance company said, no way, not going to happen. Okay? You have to realize they have to hire you before I can hire you. All right. That could cost you your insurance. Now you're going to see a running theme in this thing. Okay. Cost you the ability to work in this industry. Okay. There again, look, speeding, accidents, cargo losses, it's almost the same thing. Poor safety record. Okay. Poor MVR. Those things people just won't hire you. You become a risk. And that risk is not worth it. Okay. All right. And as you can see, it's starting to become a theme here. Cost you your CDL. There's several that will cost you your CVL. I didn't list all of them. Leaving the scene of an accident is one thing. That'll cost you your CDL in a minute. Negligent speeding. That's speeding over a certain mile, over 15 over. Negligent accidents. Okay. Negligent cargo losses. Too many out of services. Poor safety records. After a while, the federal government has mandated, here's another one. Any kind of alcohol or drug infraction, the federal government has come in and instructed the states to remove all the CDLs. If you get caught on this, even if it's in your personal car, they're going to remove that CDL until you go back through a process to get it back. You got to remember, these CDLs, these are our livelihoods. If you have that CDL in good standing, you can always get a job. You can always go do something. You can walk out this door today and you can be driving tomorrow, or as soon as you get a piss test, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Now, this can cost you your life others' lives and your freedom. Okay? Negligent speeding, negligent accidents, negligent cargo losses that cause death. Okay? That boy in Colorado received 18 years for killing those 5 people. And that was a cargo loss. There are so many nuclear verdicts now that is being imposed on the industry. You have so many verdicts that come out for brokers, trucking companies themselves, where it's just devastating, and the courts are upholding them. So when you are charged criminally, yeah, you can be absolutely put in jail, and will be. And this is for a driving accident. But understand, as a commercial motor vehicle operator holding a CDL, you are held to a higher standard, and you are held as a professional driver, not the run of the mill grandma going to get groceries. No, you are supposed to know better. You're supposed to know the rules. You're expected to follow the rules, and you're expected to be defensive and a good driver. Get caught on your telephone and see what that gets you. You may be kicked out of the industry altogether the way they are now. Okay, now, a couple of mistakes I want to show you. One happened this week, okay? Here's the truck. This driver was running in the Northeast. He misread. Here's your mistake. He misread his rate confirmation. Rate confirmation said that that this truck was 11 feet 6 inches. After he loaded it, he never measured it. Okay? Never looked at it. Didn't realize what was happening. And he took off with this load. And 10 miles down the road, he struck a bridge, an overpass with the top of this truck. And it ripped the truck back completely off of it. Okay. It was not one of our drivers, but this driver called me, and I sort of walked him through what he needed to do. And yeah, I will tell you that this driver is one of the luckiest drivers that ever walked the face of the earth. He better buy a lottery ticket this week. One of the things, not getting into the details of it, because there's a lot of things that I'm not going to disclose about it, but that was first of all, he took a load that was illegal. Okay. It should have been a super load. You should have had a pole car in front of it. Should have been routed, had permits, had OD signs all over his truck and trailer. And no, he did not. And if you look at this picture again, look at the mirror. Can you see it? It's hanging out over the edge of the deck. It wasn't folded back. That's over 102 inches wide. Guys, you got to realize something. Anything over 102 inches wide, when you haul trucks like this, you load them up. I carry a plumb bob with me, but that mirror stuck out that far past the edge of that deck. Okay. You hang a plumb bob. If it's over the 102 spot on that deck, it's OD. It was OD wide. It was OD high. If he'd have folded the mirrors in, he wouldn't have been OD. He'd have been OD high, but he wouldn't have been OD wide. So this thing was a cluster from the beginning. He made the mistake. And will his insurance cover it? Yes, it will. but will they renew him? That's the question. That's going to be the question. Okay, so that happened this week. All right, so here, what's the problem with this load, guys? I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. I just want you to take a look at it. As it sits right there, before anybody gets moving, can you see it? Let me zoom in. How about this side? Can you see it? Let's go one more. Can you see it? I just talked about the mirrors.
Why are two?
It is over the edge of the deck. Okay. Now remember, anything that is over the edge of the deck, over 102 inches wide, that you are hauling is an OD load. All right. So here's things you've got to realize. Your legal load limit is 102 wide, 13.6 tall. Okay. Never forget it. When I go out, I know right in my head, I know that I'm shorter than this, but I tell myself my deck height is 3 feet. So when I look at a rate con, if it says 10 feet, that's close. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and measure it when I get back and make sure. But if you leave it at 3 feet in your head, everything that gets close, you're going to go back and measure and make sure you're okay with it. Now, 102 inches wide, that does not include your straps or your chain. It includes, unless the chain is hanging over, but if it's just hooked to the chain and back up, it does not include that. They allow for the chain and the connection. But here's something that I was thinking about while I was playing with this was, okay, let's say you have, no, your deck is 102. Let's say your load is 101, but the loader canted it on the deck on one side and you have this much hanging over. That's an OD load. Nothing can go over the edge of the deck. Okay. Not without permits, signs, lights, banners, period. All right. So if you run into that before you leave, you got it before you even start strapping. You tell the guy to get that centered on the deck. All right. Okay. So next thing, sometimes the mistake isn't your fault, but it's still going to cost you time. And in this business, time is money. Now, this is one of our driver's loads, and this was not his issue. It's a damage claim that I'm working on right now. But you can see, if you see what's loaded, and he was very, very good. He listens. He's a good guy. He took pictures of the loading process. Can you see those 4 forks on that tractor, on that end loader? All right. There it is as the first sets are put on. There it is, all strapped down. We were mandated to use straps and not chains. So there's your straps. And there's what they're complaining about, which is obviously a fork gouge. And if you look tighter, that's a fork gouge. That is not something we did or could have even done with a strap. Right. So when these kind of things happen, then the first thing that normally happens is the broker refuses to pay the load. This is the first we heard of it, okay, when the load wasn't paid for. All right, so then we have to get into, we had to send, of course, factoring recoups the money. I had to go get involved. Mila had to be involved. Mila wrote a letter. I wrote a letter. the driver wrote a statement, sent all that stuff. But see how much time now you got 3 people again involved in these little things. Even though it wasn't our problem, it becomes our problem. And behind the scenes, this is what we do. So we ended up writing a letter to their claims department and telling them that's a fork gouge. It's nothing we could have done with straps. So yeah, we're just waiting on the end of it now to see what they're going to do. Okay. Let's talk about it, guys. Anybody got anything? Any questions? Any comments? I know I yapped a lot tonight. I apologize. But yeah, you got questions? I'll open the floor to you guys if you got a question about anything. Got a comment? Hey, appreciate all the videos. I'm looking to get into Hotshot trucking soon, and your videos are definitely helpful. All right, Mr. Cooper, I appreciate it, man. Key is to know what you're doing. It's not a driving. It's not a job. It's just not a job. You're starting a business and you're going to run a business, and you got to run it like a business. So that's my advice to you. All right. We've got tire pressure. Yes, sir. I see it down there. Ozzy made a comment. Tire pressure. Absolutely. You got to keep them. If you don't run your proper tire pressures, wears your tires out, and tires aren't cheap. I'll tell you, and tires we had a driver, was it a month ago? He got pulled over and got an inspection, got put out of service. Why? Because he didn't do the pre-trip before he left, and he had 2 low tires. He had air on the truck. Could have just blowed him up. So anyway, yeah, pre-trip. We have a lot of stuff going on this week. It took the better part of a day and a half to deal with that box truck being struck, or under the bridge. But some of the crazy things, when I say the guy's lucky, he pulled off, called the police. Police never showed up. Finally, the police told him to fill out a report online. Some kind of deal going on. The deal going on in New York. And this was in Manhattan. But there was some kind of thing going on that just absolutely had the police ripped out of the frame, and they were basically striking up there, and they just wasn't going to come out. So they told them to fill it out online. So yeah, I told him to buy a lottery ticket, man. Jesus loves you. Can you imagine? He goes out there, he strikes an infrastructure. He goes out, and I'm just saying, I'm just throwing this out of the top of my head. Over width, over height, no signs, no lights, no permits, no pole car. I'm pretty sure his truck would have been impounded. The trailer would have been impounded. The cargo would have been impounded, and he'd have probably went to jail. That's my guess. So thank you, Jesus. He didn't go to jail. All right. What do we got? Any questions? Nothing? All good? All right. We're going to lock it up for tonight. I did a lot of yapping tonight. I hope people take this stuff seriously and take it to heart. There's a lot to this. This is one of the highest regulated industries in the country. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get in trouble with it. What you got? I'm looking to get it started in May or June. Would it be fine to start? Nope. I'm going to tell you now. As soon as I see that, I'm going to tell you no. Because once you start, if you've seen enough of my stuff, you will see, and I mean, I'm going to tell you now, you invest in yourself first. You get that CDL, because once you start, this stuff doesn't stop. Okay. Once you start this, you start your insurance, you start your truck payments, you start your trailer, whatever payments you got, they don't stop. And where are you going to find 4 weeks to go to school, Daniel? Invest in yourself first. Do it right. Get the CDL. Then move forward. Because the CDL is your livelihood. You can take that CDL and go anywhere. Okay. When you buy non-CDL equipment, you're going to have to buy more equipment because it's not going to be right for CDL. So no, I see this almost every week. So I don't want to discourage you, but son, go get your CDL and do it the right way. Okay. Okay. Also. Oh, do you sign? Yeah, we sign guys on. We sign guys on, but it's a process. And I'm going to tell you, it'll take the better part of a month to get you signed on. So understand that and, do it the right way. There are steps to do it, but if you don't do it right, you're just backing up. And it's going to cost you a lot of money in the long term. Okay. Thanks for your question, Daniel. Unrelated, Bryan, can you say hi to my kid, Kenneth? He does not believe me that this is, hey, Kenneth, I hope you are doing well. You listen to your dad and, and, he just came in off the road. He's done a great job. He's doing great. So spend some time with him and enjoy the time he's home. There you go. Ozzy, how tall was the box truck? It was 11 feet 6. 11.6. He was 14.6 from the ground to the top of the box truck. So I told him to let the air out of the tires, and it didn't give him enough to even move the truck. He had to sit there, and we had to get a wrecker out there to get that truck off of it. He couldn't even move it. It was illegal for him to move it. So it was towed back with a wrecker. Hope that answers your question. Yep. No more questions? All right, guys. Well, this is what we got for this week. Hope you guys have a great week. Richard and Kenneth, enjoy your time together while you're home. And if you need me, reach out and we will, we'll talk to you next time. Well, we got a question that come in at the last second. Is it looked at differently going through the school as opposed to just can't take the test anymore? That's no longer a process. Federal law a couple of years ago changed it to where you got to actually go to class. So that whole going to take your test thing is gone. So you're going to have to go to school if you want to get an A class. Thanks, Daniel, for the question. That's it. All right, guys. Love your family. That's all you got. And enjoy yourself. We love you. I really appreciate you being here. If you need anything, reach out, and I'll do what I can to help you. So, until mañana, have a good week. See you.
Jeans and a 4x4, cruising down your front door. I'm a postage pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a western swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in a parking lot. I'm rowdy rough, big and grown, I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old boy